Sarah French, she joins us now. And Sarah, you're bringing us stories of some of these amazing, remarkable children from right here in the hospital.
They're so inspirational. It's hard to believe some of these kids have been here since they were born, but it's because of the superhero doctors and nurses that make their stories possible.
All right, Caleb, come on up.
Groundbreaking technology like this low-dose X-ray machine that's safer for kids.
It's probably about an 8-fold decrease in the amount of radiation for just one spine exam. And so when you add those up over time for a lot of kids that are having these X-rays done every 6 to 12 months, it's a pretty substantial decrease in that amount of radiation.
Inspiring stories of survival, like 15-month-old Ella Kate.
The phone rang, and it was cardiology calling to say the perfect heart was ready for Ella.
These are the stories that happen day in and day out at Levine Children's Hospital.
And to have national recognition 8 years in a row is just validation that what we're doing matters and that we are creating a world-class children's hospital right here in our backyard.
Last month, U.S. News & World Report ranked Levine Children's Hospital as one of the best children's hospital in 6 specialties, including heart surgery. The doctors and their patients here are real-life superheroes in our community. Their work made possible by the donations of people like you and me. The parents of kids here say it's money well spent.
We're just so blessed to have Levine Children's Hospital so close to home.
We've been putting the spotlight on some of the heroes at Levine Children's Hospital. Many don't realize Levine is one of the top children's hospital in the country and a go-to for families across the Carolinas and in our region in desperate need of answers. Sarah French is live at Levine. Sarah, you've gotten a chance to know many of the heroes there, many of the unsung heroes, and they're just too many to name.
Yeah. Definitely, Fred. If you walk the halls here at Levine Children's Hospital, you are bound to run into some of those superheroes. We've been introducing them to you all day long. So now I want to introduce you to Jacob Kiefer, a truly inspirational young man. He always has a smile on his face and someone who refuses to live as a sick person, he says. But Jacob has been fighting since he was a toddler, and the doctors here at Levine have been fighting with him every step of the way.
I'm Jacob, and I am a patient at Levine Children's Hospital.
Jacob Kiefer has spent most of his life in and out of the hospital.
My medical condition is kidney disease, and I've had it ever since the age of 3.
At age 5, he received his first kidney transplant. 2 years later, he developed post-transplant lymphoma, a rare form of cancer that sometimes develops in transplant patients.
I think that was one of the hardest discussions I've ever had with somebody. I think we do a good job of preparing them as much as we can for the inevitability of what's coming, but you're never prepared for it.
As always, Jacob's good attitude remained intact through every diagnosis.
I've always had this attitude of, my card's been dealt to me, I've had a failed kidney, but I'd rather be positive and be outgoing than be a negative person and be kind of a hermit from other people.
Jacob's challenges weren't over. When he was 15, his first kidney began to fail. He needed another transplant.
We've been very scared many times, but for the most part, we've been able to see the blessing.
This time, his mom was the blessing. She was his kidney match.
No mom wants to have their child suffer, even for a minute.
The transplant was a success.
Our hope is this transplant will give him another 5-10 years before he would potentially need another transplant.
Jacob will have to take medicine every day for the rest of his life, but he's not worried about that right now. The high school graduate is headed to college to nurture a love that first developed while he was watching movies in the hospital.
I've found my heart into theater and acting, and it's a great way to get out all my frustrations in life.
He's determined to use his illness to inspire others.
I'm not defined by my sickness. I've done everything that a regular teenager will do. I've gone to dances, I've had fun with my friends, I've been a normal kid.
Except for the fact that one of Jacob's kidneys is from his mom.
My parents are pretty much the best people, even though they're in the room. It's not just I'm trying to say that to please them. But they've been really helpful throughout all of this.
He's something so much bigger than a kid with kidney disease, and he can do anything he wants to do.
Sarah French, live over there at Levine for us, recently named one of the best children's hospitals in the country for the 8th consecutive year. That, Sarah, is quite an honor.
It is, guys. It's incredible what they're doing here. And these doctors and nurses, these superheroes that you've been talking about, they're all about making dreams come true. So the next kid I want to introduce you to is Tobias. He had a dream of becoming a dancer. He absolutely loves to dance, but all of that almost ended when he went to a regular pediatrician visit, and it led his doctor to notice something was wrong with his spine. But the doctors here at Levine had all the right moves to keep him dancing.
It's like a good way to get stress out the way, you know, good way to clear your mind, a good way to impress others, of course.
Tobias Wilson loves to dance.
Dancing it came naturally. The more serious I took it, the better I got.
It was only a year ago when Tobias thought it might be taken away from him forever.
I was just more scared than anything.
He came in with a pretty large curve already.
This was it. This is all I had.
And still had a fair amount of growth left.
Dr. Brian Scannell had to break the news to Tobias.
He wasn't having any pain, which is oftentimes the most common presentation. Most kids with scoliosis don't present initially with pain.
Tobias had a severe case of scoliosis, and their best option was surgery.
He told me about every possible outcome because I was asking all types of questions.
Tobias, being a dancer in particular, that was really, really important for him. He didn't want to lose a lot of that motion because that would affect a lot of his moves.
I really didn't know what to expect, but I knew surgery involves a lot of cutting, a lot of opening, so I was just like, yikes.
Finally, the day came. And though he trusted Dr. Scannell,
the surgery itself was pretty scary.
But Tobias says waking up from surgery was even worse.
My first words was like, I'm in pain. I started crying.
Tobias began focusing on one goal: to get back to what he loves, dancing.
Getting back up and having to walk and take those steps was really hard.
And Tobias was dancing just a couple months later.
He got back into some of his activities probably a little quicker than I had anticipated.
Everyone at the hospital enjoys his talents.
Dr. Scannell had me dance for him and a lot of his patients a few times before. People and the doctors and nurses will just love to watch me dance.
Today, Tobias is back to himself.
There aren't any limits to anything I can do.
Dancing and loving life.
If I dance to something inspiring, it inspires other people to do. I like to inspire as much as possible.
A lot of people don't know that one of the best children's hospitals in the country, right in our own backyard, the doctors and nurses at Levine Children's Hospital are some of the biggest unsung heroes in Charlotte.
All day, we've been putting a spotlight on some of the great work they are doing right here in the Queen City. Our Sarah French joins us live now. And Sarah, you're seeing the work up close.
Yes, very up close, guys. Right now we're in the NICU, and not a lot of people get to see this up close and personal. And this is a place that's sometimes very difficult for parents to be in. But thanks to Levine Children's Hospital, they have a program that's helping parents navigate their way through all the confusion.
Meet Jordan, Avery, and somewhere in all that equipment is baby Emma.
It's kind of surreal, but I'm very grateful that they're all here.
First-time parents Ashley and Michael Head are still getting used to being a family of 5.
Happy but nervous. I think that's what parenthood is, from what I've heard.
Their 3 girls were born 9 weeks early at Levine Children's Hospital.
Sorry, I'm totally distracted. I have to get off.
That's okay. While we were talking, little Avery's heart rate dropped, setting off her monitor. Turns out that's not uncommon for babies in this situation. It's an example of the uncertainty parents of preemies deal with every day.
I can't believe all the progress they've made. It's amazing.
Rebecca Horner is the neonatal family navigator assigned to the Heads.
Our only task is to provide love and mercy to moms and dads that are here. And it's just a privilege to be able to do that so that a lot of our healthcare providers can attend to their patients and provide the necessary medical care.
Horner meets with the family every week, answering questions and offering emotional and developmental support.
In our experience, the more healthy and well the mom is, the more healthy and well the baby is.
The program started in 2011, originally focused on the hospital experience after birth. But recently the program expanded, helping to ease anxiety about the delivery.
There's just something special about the connection that you make with people when you share a huge life moment.
Ashley agrees. She says having a familiar face in the delivery room helped tremendously.
Well, all I could do was hold his hand and breathe. And she went, like he said, she took pictures that we would never have if she wasn't there. And that was their first moments. And so I don't really have words for it.
It is one of the deepest joys of my life. You know, the birth of a baby and the beginning relationship between a mother and baby is just a beautiful thing.
After spending a month at the hospital, Mom and Dad can't wait to get home and snuggle their new bundles of joy without them being hooked up to a machine. Though they both admit they are a little worried about how much sleep they'll be getting.
And the number of diapers that we'll go through, probably.
Yeah, number of diapers is right, I'm sure. But the Family Navigator program is just one of the many reasons Levine Children's Hospital is ranked one of the best in the country. Now come over here. I want to introduce you to this sweet baby Micaiah. She was born this summer. She's in the neonatal intensive care unit here at Levine Children's Hospital. But take a look at this amazing technology. This web camera, they have these in all the cribs here. It was donated by the Cotty and Cake Fund. And parents can look on their cell phones if they're not here with their child, grandparents, family members, and check in on their babies here in the NICU and see how they're doing. So just another incredible thing that they're doing here at Levine. So if you're watching at home and you're wondering, okay, I want to help, any donation, big or small, can help. And it's not just money. It can be your time. It can be toys. It can be books. Take a look at your screen. Head to levineheroes.com or call the number that you see, 1-877-335-KIDS. That's 1-877-335-5437. So it's been an incredible day out here. I hope you guys have enjoyed watching these inspirational stories. And if you missed any of them, of course, they'll all be on our website as well at WCNC.com. Guys, back to you.